Hi everyone, this is Mahiuddin Ahmed from Singapore Maths Academy. Welcome to our new 11 plus mini series. We're going to go through multiplication in today's session. So previously we looked at multiplying just a 2-digit number or a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number. And now we're going to look at multiplying by a 2-digit number. Okay, so let's jump onto our whiteboard and iPad and see what we can do. So our first question is 27 times 32. And just like our previous video, what we want to do is really think about what it means. So we've got 27 times 32. What this means is we're multiplying 27 32 times, right? We're going to have 32 lots of 27s or 27 lots of 32s. And so what this actually means is if we think about it, if it's 32 lots of 27, 32 lots of 27s, then what we're actually doing is we can, first of all, we're going to look at how to work out 2 lots of 27s, right? So we're going to multiply 27 by 2. So we know how to do that by now, right? We know 2 times 27. Let me get my pens right. We know that 2 times 27 just means 2 lots of 20s and 2 lots of 7s and add that together, right? And so that's exactly what's going to happen when we multiply using column multiplication. So class, let's have a look at this. What's 2 times 7? 2 times 7 is 14, right? So 14, when we write down 14, the 4 is in the ones column. And the extra 10, I'm going to need to put that into the tens column. So I'm going to put that 1 here so that it reminds me to add the extra 10 on once I work out what 2 lots of 20s are. 2 lots of 20 is 40. 40 plus the extra 10 is 50. So I'm going to write 50 here, right? I'm going to put 5 here. That's the tens column, right? 5 tens. So 2 times 27 is 54. So what we've just done is 2 times 27, which we know is 54. The next step for us is to work out what 30 times 27 is. Okay, so we can do this different ways, right? So if you're not too comfortable or if you're not sure about your answer and you want to kind of double check your answer at first, you might want to do that. So we're trying to work out what 30 times 27 is. And using our knowledge of multiplication, 30 times 27 is the same as 3 times 10, which is 30, times 27. So I can actually do 3 times 27 first. 3 times 20 is 60. 3 times 7 is 21. And so 6 plus 21 is going to be 81. Okay, so this is the same as 81. So what I did was 3 times 27. That's 81. 81 times 10 is 810. So I should get 810 in my next row. So here I'm going to now look at 30, 3 lots of 10s, 30 times 27. I'm going to use blue just so that it's a different row. Now 30 times 7, I know first of all, if I'm multiplying by 10, then I'm going to have 0 ones. So I'm going to write 0 for the ones column because I know that multiplying by 10s, if you think about it, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, you can have 0 ones. So 3 times 7 is 21. That means really we're saying 2100, right? 2100s or 21 tens. 3 times 7 ones, right? 7 times 30 is 210. That's 210, but we are in the tens column. So I'm just going to put the 1 here because 210 has 0 ones. We have 110. And so I'm going to put the 110 in the tens column. The 200, I'm going to add that on later on. I have to remind myself to add that on, right? So now I've got 3 times 2, which is 6, or 30 times 20, which is 600. 600 plus the 200 I got from multiplying 30 times 7. So 600 plus 200 is 800, right? So this is the hundreds column. So I'm going to put 8 here. So as we mentioned, what we did was 30 times 27. And 30 times 27 is equal to 810. And that's exactly what I've got here. So remember, we said that 32 times 27 just means 32 lots of 27s. 2 lots of 27s, 2 lots of 27s is 54. And 30 lots of 27s is 810. So that must mean 32 lots of 27 must be 810 add 54, which gives us 864. So what we're doing here is we're multiplying a number by a 2-digit number. And when we do that, we have to think about what's happening. The first thing that we looked at was the ones. We looked at the 2 ones multiplied by 7, then 2 times 20. Then looked at 30 times 7. But before we looked at 30 times 7, we knew that the ones column is going to have a 0 because we're multiplying by 10. Multiples of 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, all have 0 ones. So that's why we mustn't forget to put 0 in the ones column when we multiply by 10. And then we've got 3 times 7, or 3 tens times 7, is going to be 21 tens. 21 tens is 210, right? But we don't put 210 down because 210 in the ones column wouldn't make sense. So we put the 10 down in the ones column, and the 200 we decide to add on when we need to in the hundreds column. Then we've got 30 times 20, which we worked out as 600. 600 plus a 200 is 800, and hence we've got the 800 here. And altogether, what we've just done is 30 times 27, which we worked out earlier, should give us 810 over here. And that's exactly what we've got here, 810. So we can add that 810 on to the 54, and we get a total of 864. So 27 times 32 equals 864. So does that make sense, class? Did you see what we did there? It can be tricky at first. So what you might want to do is take it in steps. What you might actually want to do for a question like this is maybe you might be more comfortable with the expanded method, right? So if I get rid of this on the right, expanded method looks like this: 27 times 32. You might initially start off doing this, but you realize that it's quite a few steps for us to do this. And it might be more efficient. It definitely is more efficient if we look at this method here, our method 1. But before you get to method 1, you might be more comfortable starting off to think, what's 2 times 7? 2 times 7 is 14, so I'm going to put 14 down. I want to write 14. What's 2 times 20? That's 2 times 20 is 40, so I'm going to write 40 down here. What's 30 times 7? 30 times 7 is 210, so I'll write 210 down. And 30 times 20 is 600. I'm going to write 600 down. I'm going to add all of that together to get what 32 times 27 is. Let's see if I get the same answer. I've got 4 ones here. I've got 4, 5, 6 tens, and I've got 800. So I've got 864. Now, that's fine for smaller numbers and also for numbers that only have 2 digits multiplied by another 2-digit number. But when you get to a larger number and you're multiplying by a 2-digit or a 3-digit number in the future, that's going to take a lot longer. So that's why method 1 is more efficient. Method 2, if you're struggling with method 1, method 2 might be another option for you.